welcome. This flow is a very feminine, fluid, flowy flow. We are 60% water on average. We are meant to flow with the changes in life. Change is the only constant, we all know that. And when we hold on really tight, when we get attached to things, for example, something you really want to create, a vision, and you're holding on so tight to that, or something you're resisting that you really don't want and you're pushing it away so tight. So when you're holding on really tight to something, how can something be released for the new thing to come in? You have to soften to release, to let the new in, because life is about change. The old things have to die for the new things to come in. We only need to see nature, that represented in nature everywhere, to see that. So this flow is about embracing the feminine, and I'm not talking about gender, I'm talking about the feminine energy, the heart space of emotions, of healing, of feeling, of flowing gently. The masculine energy is working really hard and forcing and pushing, and that's more that energy. So this flow is about embracing that flow so you can release whatever no longer serves you and the new can flow into your life. So let's get started. Let's start out in a comfortable cross-legged position. Lean back so your heart is over your hips. Begin your ujjayi breath. Bring your palms together and rub them together, creating some heat and friction. And then bring that warmth to the center of your chest and close your eyes. Breathe into that warmth you've created. Breathing in and out of your heart space, your heart chakra. This is the seat of your feminine power, the flow, the emotions. This is the space where you can feel and release to allow new creations to come in. Where you place your awareness is where you place your energy. So focus your awareness in this space, in your body. And as your mind wanders today, I invite you to just bring your attention back to this place in your body. Breathing in and out of this space. Allowing whatever comes up to come up. Because the intention for this practice is to be in the flow, to soften, and therefore allow whatever you're holding on to come up, to be released. And that might look like emotion. That might look like feelings coming up. And we're moving as we're feeling, because the emotion helps release the emotion. It's meant to move. It's meant to be felt. It's in the feeling and the moving that we can release. So I invite you today to practice differently, in that you're not holding the shapes or the asanas and then breathing into the next and holding that one. I invite you to flow, moving on your breath and within the pose, however feels right and organic to you. Really softening and releasing and just embracing that feminine. And if that means you're going completely off book, to what I'm doing, then go with it. Trust your gut, trust your body. Move how you need to move, to do the work that you need to do to release whatever it is you need to release, my darling. Now, take your hands away and rub your palms together again, creating more heat and more energy. And you can keep your eyes closed or you can open them, whatever works. And imagine that you're playing an imaginary accordion, and take your palms apart just an inch or two. And can you sense that tingling through the touch sense? Can you feel that tingling in your palms and your fingertips? And can you notice how when you pull them further apart, you can still sense the space between your hands? And as you push them together, can you sense that space? And push them together and move them apart, playing with this felt sense and connecting to that energy, that space between your hands. And then bring your palms together, sealing them in prayer. And I want to invite you to set an intention. And if it feels right, I will offer you one. That you experience a softening and flow, allowing you to release whatever is no longer serving you. Don't just hear the intention, but feel it in your whole body. Intention is powerful. So really embody your intention for this practice, because the flow will then add significantly to its power. Release your hands. Open your eyes if that feels good, and begin doing circles with your hips and your stomach, just in one direction, and I'll tell you when to switch directions. Moving slowly with your hands on your knees, balancing you. Inhaling maybe as you're moving forward, maybe exhaling as you're pulling back. And if it feels right for you to move your head around as well, then of course do that. Then switch directions. Come back to center. Place your right hand on the ground and sweep your left hand up over your head, getting a side body stretch here. Your arm might be straight or it might be bent. And if it feels right, you can turn your head and heart a little bit to the sky, and then the stretch will move a bit more to the front of your body. And notice what happens when you turn your head and heart to the ground, how the stretch moves a little bit more to the back body. So as always for this flow, play within it. Bring that upper hand forward and toward the ground and draw a semicircle in front of you all the way to the other side. Swoop that hand up and over your head. Again, playing with looking up. or looking down. And then on your exhale, bring that hand down and around to the other side. Inhale, bring it up and move around in this place until your exhale comes, which pushes you back across to the other side. And then you inhale, play within this place, and move back and forth on your own breath at your own pace. You may notice that you feel the urge to go a little deeper. Maybe bring your elbow to the ground. You might want to close your eyes. There's no need to watch the screen as you move through this flow. Come back to center. Straighten out your left leg here. Bring your opposite hand behind your body. Then lift your hips up and drop your arm up and above the top of your head. Your foot can be flat or it can be on the side edge, so long as you feel an opening somewhere in your body. Then on your exhale, drop your hips and swoop forward to drop forward over that front leg. You can have your head and heart facing your knee, or it can be to the side for a side body stretch. Maybe you'll do both. We're going to do it 3 times. On your inhale, lift back, lifting your hips. Dropping your hips, coming forward. On your next inhale, swooping back, lifting your hips. Exhale, coming forward. The final one, swoop back, lifting your hips. Exhale, coming forward into whatever stretch feels right. Switch legs, bringing the other foot to your inner thigh. Bring the opposite hand behind you. Swoop up, lifting your hips. Exhale, come forward over that front leg. Remember, we're not forcing at any point. We're softening into the pose. It's so much more powerful and effective. Inhale, swoop up, lifting your hips. Exhale, fold forward however you like over that front leg. Inhale, swoop up behind you. Have your upper hand be as if water is falling out of it like a faucet. And then finally come back. Come up, and now we're going to move into cat and cow. And do one round of cat and cow. Inhale, lift your head and heart. Dropping your stomach, widening your collarbone. Exhale, hunch up. Bring your knees wider and bring your ankles together. Sit your hips down and find child's pose with your forehead on the mat. Your arms are outstretched here and your palms are grounding into the mat. We're going to do a flow now from child's pose. So starting with your shoulders, hunch your shoulders up as if there is a string in the center of your upper back lifting you up, dropping your head, and let that upward energy from your shoulders pull your whole body up and move you forward so your shoulders are eventually over your wrists. Once they get there, then arch your back, and then keeping that arch, head up, stomach down, slowly push your way back to child's pose, dropping your forehead on the mat again. Again, starting with the back of your shoulders, your upper back. Pick them up and move slowly forward until your shoulders are over your wrists. Then lift your head, drop your stomach, keeping that arch. Slowly move back again into child's pose, and your forehead on the mat is the last thing to move. Again, starting with your shoulders hunching. It's an upward motion all the way until your shoulders are over your wrists. Your knees are wide. Lift your head, drop your stomach, and as your butt is sticking up, let that lead you back into child's pose. Final round now, rolling forward. Then finding your arch, back to table. Bring your feet apart, your knees under your hips. Tuck your toes and push back to your first downward facing dog. Walk the dog here, but really flow within it. So don't just keep your upper body stagnant. I invite you to just move your shoulders around as you're walking the dog in whatever way feels good. Because remember, we're water, we're liquid, we're flowing. So don't hold rigid in any pose for this flow. And this is a real retraining of what we usually do, but this is just a different flow today. So just embrace it, really go with it. On your exhale, look forward and walk your feet towards your hands. Release into a forward fold. Shake your head no. Nod it yes. On your next inhale, lift halfway up with a flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, swooping your hands out to the side. Rise to standing, hands above your head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway with a flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Shoulders together, stretching away from your hips. Create length down your spine here and space in your neck by pulling your shoulders away from your ears. Your knees can be soft here. Try not to lock your knees out at any point. And breathing here, soft knees, engaging Uddiyana Bandha so your core is strong. Because we can be flowy and soft and strong. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway with a flat back. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat. Step back to plank. On your next exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, lift your head and heart for cobra. Lift up, roll your head and shoulders back for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Reminding you to move within the pose. Don't be stagnant at any point. We're wanting to stay in motion and really connect to the flowiness that is in you. On your exhale, look forward and walk your feet toward your hands. Release into a forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping your hands up, rise to standing, hands above your head. Exhale, sit your hips down and find Utkatasana chair pose. Look down and make sure you can see your toes. And if you can't, then sit back a little further in your imaginary chair. Bring your hands to your side. Sweep your left hand back behind you while you're lowered in chair and your right hand forward and rise to standing. Turn to the center, sweep your left hand forward and your right hand behind you. Sit back into chair. Inhale, both hands up, come to standing. Exhale, hands drop on the other side. Inhale, rise as your hands come up. You come to center, you twist to the other side, sitting into chair. Inhale, stand as your hands rise, face center, turn to the other side, sink back down into chair. Inhale, bring your hands up as you come back to center and sink down to the other side. Inhale, rise to standing and stay facing the front. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat. Try to step back with the opposite foot now. Take a moment and feel the earth under your hands and feet supporting you. Lower slowly. You can always lower on your knees. Tops of your feet are on the mat. Bring your hands out a little wider here, as if you were doing a normal push-up. And you can be on your fingertips if that is preferable. And then inhale, lift one shoulder back more than the other. And just roll one shoulder and then the other, or however you want to move organically within this pose. And if the fingers don't feel right to you, then have your hands flat. And then bring your hands either side of your heart and make your way back to downward facing dog. Breathing into your heart chakra, embracing the flow, allowing any feelings that come up just to be with you as you move. Just be with them. On your exhale, look forward and walk or hop your feet to your hands and release into a forward fold. Now really soften and bend your knees here and just start to sway your body back and forth. You might want to drag your hands along or hold your elbows, but release your head and sway in whatever version of ragdoll feels right for you. Visualize the bottom of your spine and inhale, pulling energy up from your spine all the way to your heart. You can bend one knee and then the other as you're swaying side to side here. Again, we're going to do that visualization. Visualize your spine, connect to the base, and inhale, pull that energy, that kundalini up your spine to your heart. We're not doing, don't be scared, we're not doing a proper intense kundalini awakening or anything here. We're not doing that. That would be unsafe. We're just trying to awaken some emotions and just creating some flow in your body and trying to move the energy. Now slowly release your hands and still moving side to side. Flow slowly up to standing as you're swaying organically from side to side. And then as you get all the way up to standing, keep moving side to side, rolling one shoulder back and then the other. Swaying from side to side. Embracing the feminine flow. And then begin with soft knees again, turning to one side. Try to hit the back of your ribs. Your knees are soft as you windmill your arms and your torso around from side to side. You might want to take it a step further and have the intention that if anything is stuck in that place, you're hitting it out. You're awakening it. Saying, come on, move. You might be able to hit your lung area, which is where we hold trauma and grief. We hold grief there. And now just swing, freely swing. And move side to side with your hips. And again, roll as you're on the left, roll that left hand back. As you move to the right, roll the left arm back in a circle. Move to the left, roll the left arm back and move like this on your own. It might look different to what I do, which is perfectly fine. You are flow. You are 60% water. Use your breath to wash away whatever is stuck and needs to be released. Use your breath here. Inhale it through your body all the way down to your feet. As you're moving, inviting everything to flow in your body, your container that is mainly fluid. Beautiful. And then slowing it down. Come to a stop. Inhale your hands above your head. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, lift halfway with a flat back. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat and step back to plank. Lower on your exhale. Inhale, up dog or cobra. When you're in this heart opening, really breathe into your heart space.
bring your awareness there once more. Fill it with oxygen and attention. Push back to downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg behind you. Exhale it forward and rise into crescent. You're on the back toes here. And notice how when you push forward, push your back foot into the earth, that it pushes your whole body forward. And just play with that for a moment, pushing through your back toes and then noticing how that shifts all of your weight. And find your equilibrium. Find the place that feels right to settle in crescent. We're going to move into another flow here. Sweeping your left hand back, find warrior two, moving right into reverse. Then exhale, flow into extended side angle. Inhale, back to reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Doesn't matter how you get between, just flow whatever works. Extended side angle to reverse 3 times. And then when you've done your 3 times, find extended side angle. And then you have the option to bring that top arm behind you and do 3 big circles. Maybe as it swoops down toward the ground, your head and heart turn toward the ground. And as it swoops up past the top of your head and behind you, your whole torso turns to the sky. Second big turn. And final big circle. Finishing in your version of extended side angle. Just be there for a moment as you root down to rise through 5-pointed star, turning your toes to the back of the mat. Find crescent facing the back of your mat. And again, with the back ball of your foot, push forward and notice how that pushes all your weight forward. Just play with that for a minute as you soften and find your equilibrium in the pose. Just touch the pose gently and then roll back to warrior two, through to reverse, flow forward to extended side angle, back to reverse, forward to extended side angle, back to reverse for the 3rd and final time. Find your extended side angle, and if you would like to do 3 big circles with me, then do that. Swooping it down and up. Behind you as your heart turns to the sky, down to the ground. And then you're just going to kiss the pose, just be in it for a moment. And then root down to rise back, wide-legged pose. Pull your feet isometrically together here, activating your inner thigh, keeping that engagement. Roll forward with a flat back. Release your hands and head. And then you might just want to flow a little bit side to side, letting your head and arms move side to side. Kind of like a wide-legged ragdoll if you want to put your hands in your elbows, or maybe you want to reach for one foot and then the other. Do what feels right in this forward fold for you. We'll be here for almost a minute. Then on your inhale with soft knees, rise slowly with a flat back to standing. Windmill your hands down to the front of the mat and step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Stay in this heart opener for just a breath or two. And then push your way back to downward facing dog. Pushing through your feet. Notice how that lifts your hips up and slowly roll your spine forward to your hands so your shoulders are over your hands in plank. Then pushing through the palms of your hands, notice how that can push your whole body back, rolling your spine back. Find downward facing dog. Again, pushing through your feet. Notice how that makes your body move forward and roll down into plank. Pushing through your hands. Let that be the impetus for rolling back to down dog. The slower you do this, the more challenging it is. Move on your own breath between plank and down dog. And then if you're in down dog already, stay there. Otherwise, meet me in down dog. Look forward, and on your exhale, walk or hop to your hands, forward fold. Soften everything and roll up one vertebrae at a time. We're going to come into a balancing sequence, starting with tree pose and moving into warrior three. Ground into your right foot. Come into your version of tree. So your toes might be on the ground and your ankle leaning against your leg. You might be on the calf or you might be on the thigh. Just don't be on the knee. Engage the knee on your standing leg. So it's an equal meeting of pressure and you're protecting the knee joint. And I invite you to visualize roots coming down through your feet, spreading out deep into the earth like a tree. And then as you're rooting down through those roots, you rise up through the top of your head, and your mudra can be whatever you want it to be. And maybe if you want to play with flowing within the tree, you can flow a bit within that pose in whatever way feels organic and natural. We welcome the wobbles because they are strengthening your ever important balancing muscles. Be kind to yourself if balance is challenging for you today. And then lift that front knee up behind you, in front of you, Lift it up in front of you and then take it behind you for your version of warrior three. Your hands can be out to the side, holding onto a chair or the wall. This is airplane, or they can be out front for true warrior three. Maybe play with softening down that standing leg a little and moving back up. And then take that lifted foot back down. Come to standing. I'm going to come into tree on the other side. Again, engaging the knee, lifting the thigh on the standing leg. Let that lifted knee move back a little bit, opening up your inner thigh. Roll your shoulders back and down. Roots going through your feet into the earth, grounding you, connecting you. And from that place, you can then flow from a grounded place. And if you are falling, then that's beautiful. Hold that. If I fall, I'm not editing it out, because we have to be able to hold all of the imperfections and everything. The more we can hold, the more open we are to wholeness. Lift that knee up in front of you and take it behind you for your version of Warrior 3. Maybe if it feels right, play with slowly bending that knee on your standing leg and straightening it a little. Moving within the pose. And then slowly come back to standing. Bring your feet about hips width apart and drop down into Malasana. So you might need to sit on a chair, a block or a cushion, whatever works. Close your eyes. Your hands are in prayer. Your thumbs are touching the center of your chest. Breathe into that place once more. Release your hands, open your eyes, and sit back down. Bring your left knee on the ground in front of you. Bring your right foot flat. Now get both of your sits bones on the ground. If you can do that and have your foot in front of your knee, then do that. But if you can't, then have it in front of your shin. So it's either at your thigh or your knee, so long as both your sits bones are on the ground. Inhale, get a little taller through the top of your head, and exhale, move into a twist. Flowing within the pose, inhale, get taller, and exhale, shift deeper into the twist. As you inhale, you might want to come out of the pose a little bit, so then you can move deeper in. Now, as we are going to shift to the other side, going to switch legs, but before you do that, just look at me for a moment. You can keep your feet in the position approximately of where they are and bring your hands to the left. Step, pushing up through your hands, lifting your hips, and then walk your hands behind you as you twist your feet and find you sit down facing the other side. It's just a bit of fun. You can just switch legs if you end up facing the wrong direction. So now your left knee is up and your left foot is flat on the mat. Your right leg is the one on the ground. Inhale, get taller through the top of your head. Exhale, move into the twist. moving within the pose on your breath. Come back to center. Bring your legs out wide. Toes facing up. Shoulders drop down away from your ears. And we're just going to flow from side to side. So lean. Doesn't matter what side you're on. Just pick a side. Lean toward it and bring your arms up. So your heart is facing the front. It's a side body stretch. Try to have both sit bones touching the earth. Inhale, come up to center and flow down to the opposite side. Take a few breaths here. Inhale, flow back to the other side. And if you want to move to having after you've done a round of that, to have your head and heart facing your knee, then I invite you to do that. Inhale, switch sides. If you were facing the knee on that side, now face the knee on this side. Inhale, come to the other side. This is the final round. Back to center. Lie down on your back and we're going to come into a supine twist. Straightening your left leg, bending your right knee. Take that right knee across your body in whatever version of a twist feels right to you. If you can find a little bit of flow within it, perhaps that's going to be moving your right arm palm up, facing it to the sky and moving it up and down, getting a gentle stretch through your chest. Sinking deeper into your body here. Give all your weight to the ground, knowing that it is there to support you. Come back to center, switch legs. Sinking into your body. The final pose is going to be happy baby, but if there is another pose or movement that you want to do to complete your practice, I invite you to do that now. Otherwise, come back to center. Bring your feet up and grab the outside edges of your feet, pulling your knees down either side of your torso. And roll around in whatever way feels right. Roll from side to side, back and forth, draw circles with your feet, whatever moving organically in listening to your body looks like for you in this moment. Close your eyes and just really inhabit your body in this moment. Pay some attention to how it feels. Is there a sense of some emotion wanting to rise, Maybe it already has. Maybe you've spent the last 5 minutes crying as you're flowing. I don't know. But just trust in whatever the experience is for you, that there's some wisdom in that. Because your intention has been here to release, and you've been moving. So just trust your body's innate wisdom. And let go of any attachment you have to what you thought it would look like. Release your feet now. And we're going to come into the final pose of corpse pose savasana. So release your legs down to the ground. If you can dim the lights or close the doors, I invite you to do that. Roll your shoulders down your back. And just take a deep sigh. Closing your eyes. Letting go of the thoughts of what's to come after this practice or what has been. Any stories attached to your life or your day. And just be fully present in your body in this moment. Notice where your breath goes as you inhale. Is it getting stuck anywhere in your body? On your inhale, can you send your breath down your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your lungs, your stomach, all the way to your feet? Does it get tripped up anywhere? And as you do that again, notice if it gets trapped anywhere or stopped. Then just invite the breath to wash away that blockage as if it was water washing it away. And now can you inhale and send your breath all the way down to both fingertips? And as you inhale and fill your entire body with this breath, exhale, letting go, letting whatever no longer serves you to be breathed out. And if you like, you can say, I like to say, transmute it into love and light. But of course, you don't have to do that. But just breathe here a moment, holding the intention to let your breath wash away anything that's stuck. And have the intention to allow whatever comes up to come up, and that you will just sit with it. Continue to use your breath in this way, releasing and washing your body with the intention of releasing any stuck pain, anything physical, emotional. When we hold on to emotions for a long time, they turn into physical pain. So the more you can practice this physical practice of moving with intention to release, the better you will feel emotionally and physically. Breathing out whatever no longer serves you and allowing anything to come up. Inhaling, letting that breath wash all over you. Exhale, releasing and allowing whatever that looks like for you in this moment. And if you're feeling frustrated or stuck or whatever that is, just give yourself some love in this moment and some acceptance. Maybe there's an injury or a part that hurts in your body. And perhaps you'd like to send that part of your body your attention and breath and love. Perhaps you'd like to ask that part of your body, what do you need? What do you need to release? Then can you provide yourself that attention, love, gratitude, whatever it is, give that to yourself. Be your own healer. That is in your power to do. Just take a couple of minutes here to be with your body and whatever is going on for you. If there is no emotion coming up, that's okay too. You have to trust. You might notice later in the day or in the week, something will come up. And I just invite you to continue this awareness throughout your day of where you're holding on tight. And notice if your body is holding tension, and when your awareness notices that tension, can you release and soften and relax? Thank you, friend, for joining me today. Keeping your eyes closed, move onto your right side into the fetal position, pouring yourself onto your side. Pushing yourself up into a comfortable cross-legged position that we began in. Bringing your hands into prayer mudra, if that feels right to you. Connecting to the felt sense in your fingers and your palm. Breathing once more in and out of your heart space. May you flow through your day, my friend. Namaste.